Hey guys, Soph here. I thought I'd do another video like I did yesterday, which was about Resto Shaman and its current state on the Shadowlands beta. Now for Druid, it's a little bit harder for me to give you as much of an in-depth description as I did yesterday for Shaman because Druid doesn't currently have any conduits on the BFA. So your soulbinds, you can build the tree, but you don't have nothing at all to put in the tree. So all the content I've been putting out for Resto Druid is actually me playing Druid without having any conduits. And I think the conduits are somewhat impactful. So the fact that Resto Druid doesn't have conduits, but it's still performing the way that it is, to me is pretty impressive. Like, for instance, Holy Paladin has conduits, but it has quite a lot of performance issues, in my opinion. But Druid, on the other hand, has no conduits, and it's still performing pretty well, in my opinion. So I will talk a little bit about how it feels. So at the moment, I've done every dungeon at a +10 on Resto Druid. And to me, the playstyle of Resto Druid right now feels exactly the same as it does on BFA. Now, it feels a little bit slower because your haste is a lot lower, your mastery is lower, your verse is low, everything is low. But in reality, the rotation is the same, right? You still have all the same spells, your talent tree is almost the exact same. There's kind of nothing new. The only thing that alters the playstyle of a Resto Druid is your Covenant ability. Now, I know most Druids are going Night Fae, which makes sense. I haven't had a chance to test out Night Fae yet. I'm currently Event there just because I've been testing out all the different Covenant abilities, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I have been having a lot of fun with the Event there Covenant ability. I'll explain a little bit more in detail as to why in a bit, but that is what I am currently in all of the keys that I've uploaded to YouTube. Now, in terms of throughput, Resto Druid's throughput, considering your stats are low, no conduits, it still feels really good. Like, it doesn't feel like you have any issues with mana in terms of like your mana to throughput. Like, your throughput, you're still a 5-man AoE like pumper, in the best way to put it. Like, you still have tons of AoE healing. Your hots are still looking pretty good. Your tank healing is good. Now, Iron Bark is on a longer CD now, which you would think would be kind of a big deal or something that you would notice. But I don't really notice it. Maybe because the tanks have quite good survivability right now on the beta also. But it doesn't feel like you're struggling with the Iron Bark CD. Being a little bit longer. I don't know, maybe you'll feel it more like when your dungeons, I don't know, ramp up a little bit in like difficulty, and maybe if you have a tank who's not managing his CDs properly, you'll feel it a lot more. But as of right now, it's not affecting the playstyle that much. Now, if you're expecting to play Resto Druid on beta or in, when it comes out, and it to be any different, at the moment it's not. Your Covenant abilities make a little bit of a difference, but it still feels like the same spec. Unlike Holy Paladin, which feels completely different, it's kind of like Resto Shaman, it still kind of plays the same. So it's, I don't know, in terms of playstyle and like the skill requirement, it's still the same as it is right now. Maybe when conduits come out for Druid, it might change up your playstyle a little bit. But as of right now, in my opinion, after playing all of the specs, it feels like the king, in my eyes. Monk feels quite good also, so does Disc Priest. But having a B-Res, nothing is better than having a B-Res. And it still pumps. Its AoE healing is great. Single target healing is great. Now, I want to talk a little bit about my Covenant ability because I think most of the videos that you've probably watched, people are running Night Fae, which I haven't gotten to test out yet. So I can't compare it to Night Fae, But I do want to talk about a scenario that I have had happen, which kind of blew my mind a little bit. Now, let me just bring up the boss fight here. Okay, so what your Covenant ability does here. For 20 seconds, the spell you cast increase your damage, healing, and haste by 2% stacking. If you spend 1.5 seconds idle, the frenzy overcomes you, consuming 3% of your health per stack, stunning you. As a druid, most of the time you're never going to be idle. You're going to be casting your hots. You're going to be Moonfire, Sunfire. You're going to be in cat form. You're going to be cat weaving. There shouldn't really be times where you're getting stunned. So for 20 seconds, you're doing incredible healing or incredible damage. Doesn't matter whatever form you're in. Which, okay, most people I think have been kind of sleeping on it. They've been like Night Fae all the way. Now, I just want to talk to you about one particular boss that I did. Okay, so this right here is the second boss of Necrotic Wake. Now, this boss has quite heavy AoE because, knowing my luck in every pug, none of the casts have been getting kicked of the ads. So there's constant AoE, like volleys are going off, shoots are going off. They do another... like the ads cast something else. There's dots going out. There's AoE damage. So this boss fight really relies on like your wild growth, your rejuice on your whole party, everyone standing in your F-flow. Now this boss fight was about a 2-minute, I don't know if you can see it on here. It's not saying anything. It was about a 2-minute fight, I would say. Now, I just want to point out here that Tranquility I cast one time in that fight. I'm not sure. It says cast 5, which I think that's not accurate because this is the boss fight and I only cast it once, right? Because it's some 3-minute CD. Now, it was my top heal in that one cast. Now, that's a 2-minute fight. So Tranquility beat all my other heals. And the only reason why was because at the time I had quite a lot of frenzy stacks. I wish I knew how much. My recording stopped when I was recording it. But the fact that I cast it once and it was my top heal means that that was quite a significant amount of healing I did in that one fight just by casting Trank. Now, I can't speak for every other time I had... like, during that, I can't tell you what I was casting because I can't look at the recording. But it was pretty... It kind of blew my mind that this overtook everything else just because I had Frenzy stacks. Now, Frenzy, I'm not sure in terms of DPS how much it buffs my DPS. Because most of the time I've been using Frenzies when it's like super heavy healing that needs to be done, and it just feels kind of nice to help me buff my healing. So in terms of damage, I'm not sure its impact. I would have to like pop it when I'm going in cat form, and I think I'm going to be in cat form for a while. But the problem with being in cat form, right, is you're going to spend 1.5 seconds idle because you're not going to have enough energy like to keep casting, you know. You're going to run out, and then your high chances are, if you don't switch back quickly and like get your Moonfire, Sunfire, get some heals going, you're gonna get stunned. And the higher your stacks, the more damage it does to you, right, when you go idle. So you really, when you're using it, you just want to be spam casting until it expires. So then when it expires, you don't get stunned and you don't lose your HP. Now, I can't compare this to the Night Fae Covenant ability. I would like to put them side by side and see. But as of right now, I'm testing it. It has been feeling pretty powerful as like an extra CD. It's 3 minutes. It's a bloody long time. But I feel like it would feel really nice if I'm like, you know, let's say I'm going in cat form and on a boss fight and there's kind of time where I don't need to, or I have all my hots out, or there's times I don't need to heal. It would be a really nice like ramp of damage. But yeah, I can't test that. But I guess hopefully in the next few days, like, I will get my Night Fae, I'll finish the quest line, I'll have the ability, and then I can do a little test for you guys. But to finish off the video, I kind of wanted to talk about what I think its ranking is. Because a lot of people come into my videos and they say, hey, like your haste looks really low. Is it making it feel unplayable? Is it better than Resto Shaman? Do you think anyone's going to overtake Druid in terms of meta? I can't speak for the meta of when Shadowlands goes live. Okay, I can only speak for the meta right now in beta. And for a class that has no conduits, in my opinion, still feels like probably the best healer. Like, once I get Covenants, I think Druid is just going to go to a whole new level. It's just going to be super powerful. Now, I don't think anything can beat it. Monk's throughput is fantastic. Priest throughput and priest damage is fantastic. They don't have a B-res. So automatically, having the Druid is better. Yes, okay, on beta, everyone's playing Warlocks. There's lots of DKs. There's always a B-res. But on that off chance you don't have those classes, you don't have a B-res. So having a Druid is still king. Also, your throughput pretty much costs no mana whatsoever. So you'll probably drink once, maybe twice a dungeon, if not at all. And your throughput is still incredibly high. So to me, having a class that has a B-res, doesn't need to drink, doesn't get in a fight and go, oh god, I'm like Paladin is really bad at that. That to me kind of makes this class feel like it might be the king of beta healing right now. Again, that could get better once conduits get released. So once conduits get released, I think it's just gonna skyrocket. But that is also my opinion. Monk's feeling really good, but its damage has felt kind of weak in my eyes. Priest's damage is really good. Its healing is really good, but it doesn't have a B-res. So for Druid, its damage is good, its healing is good, and it has a B-res. So it just kind of makes it excel. And I've just been enjoying it. It feels the exact same as it does on live with like way less stats. So I'm still enjoying it because I play one on live. Now I want to talk about the legendaries because I have only really fiddled around with a couple of them. So right now I'm running this one here. When a Moonfire, Rip, or Rejuve are on a single target, their effects are increased by 30%. This legendary in itself just feels good. It helps, it does good damage, it does good healing. It's just kind of a nice legendary overall. I did test out, where is it? This one. You may Life Bloom 2 targets at once and Life Bloom's final healing is increased by 100%. It felt good. I didn't notice it. Like, it didn't change my playstyle at all. Like, it helps with like photosynthesis. You can always keep a Life Bloom on yourself, and then you can have one on the tank. So it kind of feels like you almost have two beacons. It's not as effective as Beacon, don't get me wrong, for Paladin, but it kind of feels it's a nice thing to have to keep on your tank at all times. It's just another hot to help him keep his HP rolling. So that one was decently good. I'm not sure. This one helps with your damage a little bit, so that's the main reason that I run it. And in my eyes, it just feels the best right now. I haven't tested out some of these. I haven't really tested this one here. Swiftman no longer consumes a heal and extends the duration of your heal over time effects on the target by 10%. I guess it busts your Swiftman. I haven't felt like I've needed that extra healing, so that's kind of been whatever. I haven't tested this one either. Again, just seems kind of average. Your damage over time effects deal their damage in 25% less time, and your healing over time effects in 15% less time. Again, some of these just feel kind of unnecessary, and I haven't felt like, God, I really wish my hots ticked faster. I'll be honest. I did test out this one a little bit. Wild Growth has a 25% chance to cause your next Rejuve or Regrowth to apply to 2 additional allies. Again, I wasn't super sold on this one either. Like, I could just cast it myself, and I could run a legendary that, you know, busts my damage or my healing, which I would just rather run than run this. So, again, right now, it just seems like this legendary trumps all. Some people might run something different. I haven't had enough time to really mess around with all these because I've been trying to play all the classes so I can compare them for people. So yeah, this one is consistent. I'm enjoying it. I'll probably keep playing it until, I don't know, I want to try something else. Now, my problem with Heart of the Wild is it's fantastic and I keep forgetting to use the damn thing. I just literally will keep forgetting to use it and that's just unfortunate. But that's like the only thing in this tree that's changed. Sandalwood feels like it has quite low value, I have to say. I've been testing it out in dungeons and I'm not super sold on it. Like it just, sometimes it pops off and sometimes it doesn't, so maybe I would try some of these other, but Nourish just kind of sounds whatever. I'm not sure. I'll try and test them out and then I'll tell you, but pretty much your talents are the same. Your playstyle doesn't change. Heart of the Wild buffs your damage. So once I get it through my thick skull, that's a CD that I want to use to help my damage, then it'll be even better. Unfortunately, I did a whole dungeon and I forgot to use it and I only remembered afterwards, so it's just me trying to adjust to these few new spells because it plays the same, so my brain just keeps thinking I'm the same, like I'm, you know, the same druid. I'm the same druid on BFA right now, just with way less stats and way less useful. So once you get used to these few spells, it'll be even better. But I think, unfortunately, for those who don't want to hear it, I think as of right now, Druid is still probably the best healer on beta right now. Priest is fun, Monk is fun, Druid is fun, feels the same. If you love it right now, you're going to love it on beta, or you're going to love it in Shadowlands. Obviously, it's subject to change. They might, I don't know, might nerf it a little bit, I'm not sure. Again, that's up to Blizzard, but I'm enjoying it. I still think it's good. I like having a B-res. My damage feels great. I don't have to worry about my throughput or my mana costs, so I hate to say it. Right now it is probably your best option, especially if you're maybe thinking about switching to a healer for Shadowlands if you haven't healed before. Druid's quite easy to pick up. I mean, most of the healers are quite easy to pick up, don't get me wrong. But in terms of having a B-res and having everything that you need, Druid has that. Also, this spell right here, Nature's Swiftness, is nice. Every minute, your next regrowth, rebirth, or entangling roots is instant. I use that on regrowth all the time. It just feels good. It's a nice... I normally save it for my tank when I think my tank is going to be in trouble. Because I try to use that when my Iron Bark is down. Just so I have a little something if I need it. Like a little catch. But pretty much, right now, I don't want people to sleep on this racial, or this covenant ability. Just because it does feel good. And I know a lot of people have probably been like, no one is running it. But, I mean, it feels really good. Right now, like, my damage is increased by 26% along with my haste. So it also helps you buff your haste. So if there's pretty big incoming damage, your haste and your healing is so much bigger. Again, it might not be as good as Night Fae, so I can't compare it. So if you comment in the comments and tell me what you think, if you've played the both, or like the two of them, I would love to know. But yeah, sorry if this sounded kind of awkward. I'm a little bit sick, so yeah, my voice is probably all over the place. But if you guys have played Resto Druid on the beta right now, I would love to know what you think, whether you think it's as OP as I'm viewing it. And if you guys have tested out any other legendaries or talents, I'd love to know. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or night. Bye!